Hello, welcome back to my channel. I've not done a talking to facing the camera type video for a very long time and it feels really strange. I don't know why, because I stream now, but I think anyone who streams and YouTube as well can agree that like YouTube is just different. Like it just feels, if there's more pressure, it's just different. But yeah, thank you so much to everyone who's been so kind since I've kind of returned to YouTube and for your support on the last two videos. I appreciate you all very much, and I was really scared to come back to YouTube. You've made it very easy and I have felt very welcomed back, so thank you so much if you have just like watched or commented or subscribed. Like, you're amazing. I figured I should like introduce myself in case this is your first time here on this channel and you're like, who is this? My name is Sophie. I'm an illustrator based in the northwest of England. If I keep looking over here, it's because I'm like embarrassed to be filming and I'm looking out my window. I do art and illustration and stuff like that. I run my own small business and have an Etsy shop, and I do markets and conventions, and I also do client work. I'm quite into children's book illustration at the moment, and I really want to illustrate a full picture book one day, so I'm kind of like, yeah, heading in that direction, I guess. And here on this channel we'll be doing like studio vlogs and draw with me's and just documenting the life of a creative, I guess. I talk with my hands a lot. By the looks of it, sleeping Mochi down here. You can't see him, but he is down. This is what's going on right now. This is what I'm dealing with. Mochi! 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 Could you maybe have a bath when I'm not filming? Okay? What's going on with your toe there? What's that toe doing? Oh, hello. Thank you. Thank you so much. The people are gonna love this. Please ignore my floor. It needs hoovering. Anyone who lives with a cat knows that the fur and the mess, it just accumulates. Oh dear. So today we are going to be filming a sketchbook tour. If you can hear Mochi cleaning himself, I am sorry, but he's mlemming at the moment. Yes, this is a long overdue sketchbook tour. Hi Moch. Stickers have been added recently for the purposes of product photography, but look at these, they're new, they're in my shop now. Papa Bear is sold out, but I will restock him one day. The poor lad. Yeah, I've actually got two sketchbooks that I finished over the past couple of years. Shows how long of a break I took from YouTube. But yeah, I was wondering whether to put it all into one video, but I figured that would be too much to edit and also too much for you to digest. So we're going to spread them out and do one sketchbook per video. And honestly, I'm kind of cruising through my current sketchbook. I'm really into sketchbooking at the moment. My sketchbook is a very nice place to be. I'm enjoying drawing for fun and taking the pressure off. I didn't draw much at all last year, so I'm really like excited to be kind of inspired again. Into what I said earlier, I really want to do picture books. I've done like book covers before, but I want to do my own fully illustrated children's book one day, or at least illustrate other people's picture books. So I really want to build on my portfolio. I want to practice certain subject matter, so I've definitely been in my sketchbook more. So there's probably going to be a few sketchbook tours over the next few months, so look forward to that. But without further ado, let's get stuck into this one. I need to like double check on Instagram when I started this, but I'm pretty sure it was either start of 2020 or end of 2019. So let's have a little look, see see what we've got going on in here. Okay, let's see what we've got going on in here. Okay, yeah, I think I started this sketchbook in 2020. I think these are like, this is when I still had a Patreon. I am thinking of bringing my Patreon back. Let me know what you think. I might simplify things a lot more. Anyway, that's one for another video. I used to do a button badge tier on Patreon, and this was like ideas for a quote to put on the button badge, just messing about with some Posca markers. I think I remember I ended up going with a quote from Adventure Time instead. But yeah, and one thing to note is that I have very like messy sketchbooks. Don't get me wrong, sometimes there's more intentional spreads and like compositions, but a lot of the time it's just me getting ideas out onto paper, and sometimes that can be very messy and scribbly, but that's just how I work. From when there was some wildfires in Australia, and I did a little charity print of a koala to raise some money for WWF. This, I can't even, I don't know. I had an idea to do like my own version of a book cover, and I was gonna go with Oryx and Crake by Margaret Atwood, and I just gave up straight away. Also, this sketchbook is not really a sketchbook, it's more of a notebook or a journal. And most kinds, it's not really designed for like materials like paints and stuff, so it's not like the best paper, and often I would just draw on one side of the sketchbook. Oh, this was the birth of my charity shop sprint slash subsequent accessories that I've followed. So yeah, this is just a quick sketch for a potential new print, and it is indeed now a print that is in my shop, a risograph print. So this was inspired by some Staffordshire dogs that I have, some little ceramic friends. I'm sure if you're in the UK you've seen these little dogs in lots of charity and antique shops. I wanted to do like a kind of silly little ode to charity shops, because they've always been quite an important and joyful part of my life, and they inspire me very much, especially the little trinkets that you can find in charity shops. Cat crawling around underneath the table, I think. Mochi, where are you? I've put this little tablecloth on the table by my window for the purposes of this video, and I think that the cat, yep, there he is. He's exploring underneath the tablecloth. So yeah, I love that for him. Yeah, it ended up being very well received. I was worried if people wouldn't get it, like, but yeah, the print does quite well in my shop, and I've also made acrylic charms and stickers, and it's one of my faves. But this is how it started anyway. I don't know what this is. This was a sketch for a potential piece, I guess, or a print of this lady on the line saying resilience, but that obviously never. Mochi, my love, where are you going? What are you doing? Where's your little paw going? Anyway, yeah, as you can see, a lot of it is just very rough sketches. Another one, which says my domain for some reason, and now I just look at it and think of a website domain rather than anything deeper than that. I clearly locked down drawings and thoughts. Ooh, so these were the sketches from my first batch of clay earrings. Not my first ever batch. I used to make them, hi Mochi, to make them back in uni as well. Where are you going? Sorry, the cat is going wild. Last few years I've got back into clay. Ow! It's been a lot of trial and error. I've changed my process so many times. I'm currently at a place where I'm quite happy with how I make my earrings and stuff. But this was some little sketches from my first batch of stud clay earrings that I made over lockdown, and they did really well. Clay stuff doesn't sell as quickly anymore. I'm sure a lot of artists can relate to having quite busy sales over lockdown. Like my first few batches of clay earrings sold really quickly, and now they just kind of tinker on over time, which is fine. But I just remember like these being snapped up really quickly, and I was like, what is going on? Lockdown was a very strange time for artists and small business owners. My very first initial sketch for the last ever Secret Sevens exhibition, which is an exhibition that used to be held in London where artists submit ideas for 12-inch record covers. And the records are displayed in the exhibition, and then people bid on them in an auction at the end, but they don't know which song the record is for. So there's 7 songs and several submissions for each of those songs, so people just had to bid based purely on the artwork, and the money always went to a charity at the end. This is my design for a song called Toast by Coffee. And then this is another sketch just with Poscas. My idea was, so you can submit like the actual physical sleeve if you want. In previous years I've done my paintings or drawings and then scanned them and sent them that way, but for the last ever exhibition I wanted to challenge myself to create a physical sleeve that I sent in, and I wanted to use, you know, those little pin spinny things where you can sort of make the pieces move. I wanted it so that these two were dancing, so you could move the arms and the legs. I think I've got a video somewhere that will just show what I mean better than how I'm explaining. But yeah, and it got accepted into the exhibition, which was really cool, and someone bought it and it raised some money for charity. Okay, so this I think is sort of around the start of my 100-day project for 2020. I used to do the 100-day project over the span of a few years. Nowadays I think it's a bit much for me to do 100 pieces in a row. But obviously in 2020 I had a lot more free time on my hands, but my project for that year, it was 100 fairy tales, so I would do an illustration from 100 fairy tales from around the world. And what I used to like about the 100-day project was, like, even if not every piece was perfect or you're happy with it, eventually you're going to get something that takes pride of place in your portfolio. And I definitely felt that with a few pieces that I generated from this project. It's nice to go in drawing these without worrying too much about the outcome or whether it can be something that can be monetized or made into a product. But then if there was something that I ended up really liking, then that was great. And yeah, I do totally recommend having a go at the 100-day project if you want. I've done it previous years where I haven't finished it, or I've changed my mind on what I wanted it to be halfway through. It doesn't have to be as much pressure as it sounds. It can just be whatever you want it to be, even if it's just really quick sketches, or reading a poem every day, or, you know, just anything. And it's quite rewarding. I don't know if I'll be able to do it again anytime soon, but maybe I will have a proper go at Inktober this year, or Peachtober. Look on Instagram and figure out what fairy tale this was meant to be and put the title here somewhere. Again, you can, so I use alcohol markers for this, and I just bled through the pages. Oh, this was another fairy tale. This was for Momotaro, which is a Japanese fairy tale about a baby boy who is born out of a peach. And I really liked this, so I finalized the design and it became a sticker. But yeah, this was one of my faves from the project. And Hansel and Gretel, a classic. I just used, I think, yeah, alcohol markers again. I used to be subscribed to Scrawlerbox when I had this sketchbook, so I think these are materials that I got with that. This is another Japanese fairy tale. I can't remember what it was. Again, I will title it here, but it was about some kind of demon, I guess. Just really simple one with Poscas. I quite like the colour combination here. I know like red and green is a controversial colour combination, but sometimes I dig it, you know. Oh, this was from the original jack-o'-lantern tale from Ireland, I think. The original jack-o'-lantern was actually a turnip that was hollowed out rather than a pumpkin. I can't remember which fairy tale this was. It was a European fairy tale, I think. I really liked how I drew the mountains here. I think they were meant to be mountains made of glass or ice or crystals or something. And I kind of regret adding the gold. I think in the story there's like a tree with gold apples. I wish I'd have just kept the background white. I sometimes think my work lends itself well when there's negative space or a bit of white in the background, but I don't hate it. I just wish I'd kept it more simple. Oh, these are from, so again, lockdown. These are from some life drawing sessions on Zoom run by Endless Love Creative, and they'd always have like a theme and certain outfits and props. So I think this was a warm-up sketch from here that I just did with a brush pen. And another one, I quite like the expression on the face. I think we had very like small time limits to draw these. This may have been a continuous line drawing or possibly with my eyes closed. And this as well, I think possibly either wrong. So the previous one might have been continuous line and this might have been with my eyes closed. I can't quite remember, but yeah, lots of quick exercises with drawings. This might have been wrong hand. And yeah, I think I did other pieces from that session, but on larger pieces of paper, but those are our warm-up sketches. This is another fairy tale. It's Thumbelina. Again, this is one of my favourites. I did actually have a Kickstarter campaign after drawing some of these fairy tale characters because I was inspired to create some enamel pins. We got a couple of them funded. Thumbelina was one of the stretch goals. She sadly didn't get funded, but that's fine. It was still very like successful Kickstarter. But it would be nice to do something with this, maybe develop it further one day. I just really like the concept of the flower and the little face peeking out. This was it little chicken then? Or it might have been a Spanish fairy tale actually. But yeah, just a tale about a chick and its mother hen. I quite like this one. It's very like retro, old school, children's book style. Again, I can't remember the title, sorry. It was a fairy tale about a little girl and the lavenders. You can start to see me drawing more people in the sketchbook, which was quite a valuable practice this year that I'm doing this. More sketches from life drawing. I think that was eyes closed. And continuous line. This theme, it was like a folklore theme. And some more life drawing. Ooh, yeah, we had some interesting props and masks. I was trying to break away from the brush pen and use some pencil here. This, another fairy tale. I think it was the Earl King. I quite like how this one turned out. I don't draw masculine figures very often, so this was fun to do. It's just a very simple, quick one with Poscas, but I like how it turned out. Another fairy tale. Again, can't remember the name. Seems to be about a goat with extravagant jewels. A mixture of Poscas and pencil. More clay sketches for earrings and stuff. Some more stud earrings. I remember trying to make these hair clips, but they didn't work out. I was using polymer clay at the time, and I think the clay I was using was not quite sturdy enough for hair clips. I use air dry clay now and try and do more like sturdier designs. Some more little sketches. Don't know why I didn't fill this page. I've definitely changed the way I approach sketchbooks since then. Another fairy tale about 2 weasels in the back. Just with Poscas again, and also like I guess a little pen, a little pink pen I was using. Back to life drawing, and at the start of this session they told us to write down an aim we have for this session, and mine was to draw for fun. And it was fun to have these life drawing sessions during lockdown online. It felt like you were going out and doing something even though you weren't. I quite like how these two turned out, and that you just get hints of like the glasses and suggestions of the textures and outfits and things that you can see. Well, this one was interesting. I think I only drew the shadows, so I had an interesting result. Another fairy tale. I can't remember what it was called. I think it might be a French fairy tale, and we've got some kind of sea dragon, and they're always fun to draw. Again, just Poscas and maybe some other pens and a little bit of pencil going on here. More clay sketches? Were these supposed to be plates? I think they were supposed to be plates, but they never came into fruition. Did I do any of these designs? I think I might have done the Zucker designs. But oh, and some of the calico cats. But I think that was all I did from this page. Ooh, I did make these. Again, I remember that the clay wasn't ideal, and it kind of I remember when I made these, some of them broke after being in transit from markets. So I remember like really mixing up how I did my clay after this point. Life drawing? This is a very abstract shape. I'm pretty sure this is from another life drawing session now. I can't remember what we were told to do, but this is a very interesting shape. Ooh, a bit of colour with life drawing. Just a quick Posca study. I quite like this, I think. Oh, what have we got here? Were there instruments in this one? There might have been instruments. This might... I don't know what she's holding. I do remember her having some nice patterned dungarees though. Yeah, I can't remember what's going on in here. Another fairy tale. I think this one was from... It might be a Chinese fairy tale. Or Japanese. I'm not sure. I remember it was about 2 ogres. And yeah, I drew quite a few ogres in this sketchbook. But they were kind of fun to draw. Again, a very simple, quick Posca piece. I've not drawn Poscas for a while actually. Ooh, this was my Christmas 2020 collection ideas. Now, something that might like surprise people is that I find designing Christmas products very uninspiring. I like Christmas, I really do, and I love the kitschness of it, but I usually struggle to come up with ideas for cards and whatnot and do it very last minute. I don't know if it was something about lockdown in 2020, but this year I designed my Christmas stuff in July. I don't know what happened. I just was overthrown by inspiration. I even wrote down trends. Who is she? But I think I went for a very retro 70s inspired collection. We've got a limited colour palette, ambient gradients, illustrative lettering, surrealism, checks, played, maximalism. And here's a few motifs I guess I drew from like vintage imagery. Oh yeah, and this is a sketch for a little elf design that I went on to do. Very sort of Cupid inspired in the face here. More sketches of motifs for Christmas patterns and illustrations. I did end up going with this kind of red, yellow and green colour scheme. So it's like quite traditional but at the same time a bit garish, which is what I wanted. Oh, and this little deer was also... This looks like Paddington. It wasn't Paddington. I think I was like inspired by vintage animals and hats. But this, ended up going with this little red deer with her yellow checkered outfit. And another sketch of her. So yeah, I had 3 Christmas designs: the deer, the elf, and the pattern. And you know it's weird when I design Christmas before Halloween. Usually it's the other way, like usually Halloween is what inspires me. But I guess shortly after Christmas designs, I figured I need to do some spooky ones. So we've got some sketches just for clay ornaments and stuff. I think I ended up making these little trinket dishes. They didn't end up doing very well, unfortunately, but they were kind of fun to make. Again, you can tell that I'm inspired by like retro and vintage design. I did end up doing a trick or treat kind of theme / collection, and wanted to design some cute animals in trick or treat outfits, again with a similar sort of 70s inspired colour scheme with the deep greens and yellows and reds. So we've got a little owl dressed as a clown. He wants some candy. And then we've got a black cat, of course, in a cute little witch's hat and bow tie. And again, some more little sketches for clay earrings and stuff. We've got some raccoon sketches here, and like ideas for little elements to intertwine into the print illustration. And then my sketch from my little raccoon. I ended up going with this idea of the trick or treater and a little ghost frog. Yeah, it was the raccoon, the cat, the ghost frog, and the owl that made it into the print. And they made some little sticker sheets as well, and they were pretty cute, and I was quite happy with them. And to this day, this raccoon is like one of my favorites. This was a sketch for an idea of a Peach-tober prompt from Fairy Little Peach. I think it might be something to do with rain or rainbows or something. But yeah, I ended up doing this as a finished painting. I clearly was like, I was, feeling something here. Just wanted some serotonin. I think we were in like the 2nd or 3rd lockdown, so yeah, moods were low. Okay, so we've got Toad. I think I was playing Mario Galaxy at the time. You know what? I have a confession. I've not played that many Mario games apart from a bit of 64 and whatnot. But I remember I got the Superstar, the All-Star 3D All-Stars, and I was playing Galaxy and I really enjoyed it. I haven't finished it for some reason. I played like 20 hours of it, so that's quite a lot for a platformer in my opinion, but I never finished it. But it was so delightful and probably one of the best ones that I've played. Toad floating on a spaceship. Can you imagine? These. So I think we're into 2021 now. Yeah, I remember because I got this for Christmas 2020. And now we're doing some Valentine sketches. Again, heavy on the vintage retro Valentine's theme. We've got some little kitty cats and some heart motifs, little bunny rabbit. I ended up going with the rabbit, and I wanted to do like You're Sweet and maybe incorporate some kind of teapot or cookie jar. I think I ended up going with something like this. These never became anything, but again, more sketches from that session, looking at retro designs for inspiration. Ooh, and this is the beginnings of my sports day collection. So I've not done like a cohesive collection in my shop for a while because, you know, life. But in the summer of this year I really made an effort to make a curated collection called Sports Day, which is funny because if anyone knows me, they know that I'm not athletic or interested in sports at all. But I just thought it'd be really funny to make up some fictional sports teams, like little pee-wee teams of animals, and like a nod to Sports Day in primary school. So yeah, we've got the Bumblebee Bats and Tiger Tots, their rival baseball teams, and then we've got a raccoon doing the egg and spoon race. This was a sketch idea for a Tiger Tots risograph print, and then we've got like the pennant, which eventually became a sticker. We've got Bumblebee Bats. I did make an acrylic charm with this design. This is like their team logo. And then we've got the Little Otters Swimming Club. This eventually became an iron-on patch. I remember this year I gradually I started ordering things for this collection in January and released it in May so that I could spread the costs and have everything ready to go. So it was the first time that I really played the long game with a collection of products. Also, again, over lockdown, we I saved quite a bit of money and I had more orders coming in, so I had a bit of extra income to really do something fun with the collection. And yeah, I think it turned out quite well, and I think people are into it. I need to get these restocked because people really like the otter patch. So, yeah. And then some more animals doing sports day activities. This eventually became a sticker sheet and also memo pads and whatnot. This is a drawing of Phoebe Bridgers. It doesn't look like it at all. What was this for? Was this a new 100-day project? It might be 2021's 100-day project, which is when I challenge myself to draw people more. I do, however, quite like the background of the arcade machines and the little Marios. I think that's pretty cute. I'm using this multicolored pencil as the screen. But yeah, it's meant to be Phoebe Bridgers, but I messed up her face. Another one from drawing more people, just this person doing a spot of gardening. Or was this done? Was this Inktober? I can't remember. No, I think this was my 100-day project. But yeah, I was really into these big collar blouses at the time. I still am. But this was just pencils and brush pens. Just a quick illustration. Trying to draw different poses. I think this one was kind of fun. Trying to fit her just within the box of the page, I guess. And I did this with Poscas that were clearly running out, but I sort of like the effect on the textures. They've been from her Pinterest image, or maybe I got the pose from Pinterest and then I made up my own outfit. But yeah, just another quick little Posca drawing. I think this is me trying to draw an older person. I don't know if this was a 100-day project or it might have been. Oh. Anyway. And then this was me experimenting with a little bit of collage and drawing on top of it. Again, I'm pretty sure this was a Pinterest image, and I think this is a continuous line drawing, and I quite like the results of this one. It's kind of fun to do. And I tried to do it again on this page, but I did not end up liking this. This doesn't feel like me at all, but that's what sketchbooks are for. They're for experimenting and trying new things. It doesn't matter if you ever show it to people. I mean, I'm obviously showing it to you right now, but you know what I mean. it's about the process. It's about the process. Another drawing. I quite like how this one turned out. Again, I think I was just drawing from Pinterest for practice. Yeah, I quite like the outfit and the colours. I was really just having fun drawing people more. And the one thing with 100-day projects is that you can really see your improvement, because obviously when you draw a certain subject over and over, you will improve. And this is, I think I must have watched Romeo and Juliet and I drew Claire Danes in her angel outfit. I think it's so, like, it doesn't look super like her, but I think you can kind of tell it's her from the outfit and the hair. Just a really quick one. I do actually quite like this hair, I have to admit. More clay earring planning. I did end up making some of these little mochi inspired earrings. Oh, I think I just got mochi at this point as well, so you will start to see mochi inspired things in my sketchbooks and my product making. Yeah, these are like more dangle earrings, and these did quite well at markets and stuff. Ooh, this was a sketch for my mushroom Earth Guardian. It was like there's like a character design Facebook group that have a prompt every month, and this month was Earth Guardian, and I developed this further into a digital drawing, and I really like how it turned out. Again, trying to draw more masculine figures. They're kind of effeminate as well, and the inspiration was like a mixture between Howl and Ponyo's dad. And also Ein from Dorohedoro. But I really like how he turned out, and the outfit and the pose and stuff. I mean, it's not cringe. I was quite proud of how it turned out, considering I don't draw stuff like this very often. But yeah. Plant. Oh, I think I was watching a Zoom sneak peek jump scare, a Zoom call with the wonderful Fran Menzes, aka Franed, that she did with Small Fry Collective, and I think we had little prompts to sketch. I can't remember why I drew a plant, but maybe it was just literally to draw a plant, and then something from my childhood. So I drew his very cursed image of Bart. I don't have much else to say. He is perceiving you. And then I think this was like a drawing of imposter syndrome, or like what imposter syndrome felt like to me. But it really reminds me of that one character from McDonald's in the 90s. You know, the purple guy? Yeah, you know what I mean. This was a Draw This in Your Style. I've completely forgotten the artist. I will pop it all here. This was a really fun one. Like, the original piece was really lovely, and it just had really Y2K vibes, and I enjoyed drawing the outfit and the colour combination, and yeah, it was just something that was really nice to do for fun. And again, I can see like the way I draw people improving here, and Draw This in Your Style challenges are really a great way to practice, so I'd highly recommend if you've got a bit of an art block, look and see if some of your favourite artists have Draw This in Your Style, then you can take part and have a go. Oh, more Mushroom Man. I must have been developing his face further, and sometimes it helps to do like really small thumbnails when I'm working on the composition, and more development of his face. I think we end up going with something like this. Ooh, more Mushroom Man, and a cheap drawing of Link. I think I was playing Breath of the Wild. I still am. I still haven't got Tears of the Kingdom. I'm determined to get my Koroks first and play the DLC. But yeah, it's just a fun little sketch inspired by what I was playing at the time, and I kind of like how it turned out. And I think in future sketchbooks you can see me sort of doing this thing where I draw over other sketches and it becomes like a full like page spread rather than being scared of all the spaces around it. here he is, my boy Mochi. Like I say, this was around the time when he was a kitten and I was obviously totally inspired by him. And now I have so much Mochi merch in my shop. So yeah, these are just from various ridiculous photos of my cat. We developed the nickname Chatty Catty because he is a very vocal cat. And this eventually became like a pin and a sticker. Sticker sheets. This is him when he used to be able to fit in boxes like this. He can no longer, but his expressions are just ridiculous. Yeah, my boy. And here's some more Mochi poses. He's a ridiculous, beautiful boy and will continue to inspire me. I'm sure of it. Oh, this was some sketches for Bark Mage Volume 2. So this is the mysterious owl character who, if you read Bark Mage Volume 2, you might have seen at the start. I'm still kind of developing their storyline, but spoiler alert, they kind of raised Bark Mage as a wean. So yeah, just some character design sketches for that. And yeah, here's sketches for the start of Bark Mage 2. This is Bark Mage's mum, who sadly has to hand over Bark Mage for this owl to protect. We don't know why. Yeah. This is like a flashback at the start of the comic. And yeah, just some storyboarding. I don't want to focus too much on it in case you want to read the comic yourself. But this is how Bark Mage starts out. Very rough, very simple pencil drawings just to get the storyboard out. This is Bark Mage trying on outfits in the item shop. Yeah, it's just super rough, but it gets the ideas out, it gets the movement and the flow and the expressions down quickly. We've got Volume 2 introduced Bard for the first time. And that's it. That is the end of the sketchbook tour. Congratulations, you've made it to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the sketchbook tour. Let me know what your favourite spread was. If you even had one, that would be interesting. You can pop that in the comments below. Appreciate you being here and supporting the channel and my art. There's lots more videos that you can watch, and I have stinky links to all the places that you can find me online down below. Today I'm going to film more sketchbook tours and more studio vlogs. I'm currently prepping for TwitchCon, which is next month, so I'm probably going to do some convention prep, and we're going to do a good old-fashioned studio vlog and all of that jazz. And I do want to document my time in Paris as well, because it's my first time going and it's very exciting and overwhelming in equal measure. But yeah, like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next week, hopefully. Take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you soon. Bye. Bye.